Hello, my name is Elaine McCarty from Environmental Finance Center West, and I'm here to talk about stakeholder engagement, specifically one of our favorite tools called a conversation map. I'm going to do that by looking at the lessons of a local agency in Hawaii when it had to implement new regulations that deeply impacted homeowners and was resulting in tensions between the regulatory agency and the homeowners. So in this case, they really needed a new approach to navigate through this very complex problem, a lot of which stemmed from communication issues. The story of this stakeholder issue for our purposes starts with a law passed in 2017 when the Hawaii State Legislature established the requirement that everyone in the state had to convert their cesspools by the year 2050. In case you don't know, a cesspool is similar to a septic tank, but it lacks the soil filtration mechanism so that the receptacle of the cesspool acts more like a storage tank for the waste. And there are more than 80,000 cesspools in Hawaii, often in some of the most rural and disadvantaged communities. So this is from the State of Hawaii cesspool prioritization tool, showing in red and orange the areas of greatest concern. And we worked with one particular community in Oahu to engage stakeholders in a community meeting. We had a lot of assumptions going into that meeting, especially about what people's greatest concerns were. And so we expected to hear a lot of grievances about the cost of the cesspool conversions, as well as the lack of financial assistance to make them happen. And we expected to hear complaints about why the homeowners seemingly had to carry this burden. So, as a result of the meeting and the activity of the conversation map, people shared a lot of information in a very short period of time. We did this whole activity in less than 2 hours with about 20 people and just collected reams of information. So, in this scenario, property owners are likely going to have to pay to either connect to the local wastewater utility or they're going to have to install a septic tank. So, that's like tens of thousands of dollars. So, through this activity, we confirmed that cost is a very serious concern for people, but it's just one of the obstacles to achieving the conversions. We learned that a key concern that homeowners have is that a lien might be applied to their homes, and they were really angry and afraid that that they could lose their home, and if particularly if they weren't able to convert. So that was causing a lot of stress and distrust within the community, even just the kind of the possibility that that could happen. We learned that community members wanted to see data showing that the problem had been scientifically validated and that the proposed solution of the cesspool conversion, which again poses an incredible economic hardship for the community members, is actually proven to solve the problem. So in some cases, data exists on the Department of Health's websites, and there are reports and materials like this DOH poster. Or there's a 2020 hazard assessment and prioritization tool. So these things, some of these resources exist, but people don't really know about them, and they're not incredibly accessible. Sometimes it's unclear if the data exists, and there probably is a need to do further research and studies. The lack of information in some cases, those gaps, opens the door for misinformation, and we learned that that was an issue. If they hadn't had this event and engaged people the way that we did, it's unlikely that the agency would have learned about these barriers as well as others that emerge, and they wouldn't have learned about the ways that the community is willing and able to help, like traditional localized practices that are already in place that the community could leverage to better communicate about the cesspool conversion and avoid the misinformation. To learn more about the ins and outs of stakeholder engagement and the conversation mapping tool, please check out the video that accompanies this one that digs more into stakeholder engagement and conversation mapping. And if you're interested in assistance with your stakeholder engagement and communications, please reach out to us. Our website is efcwest.net.